My name is Marika Jang. I am Executive Director of Poe Baltimore and the Awards Administrator for the Saturday Visitor Awards, a new honor presented by Poe Baltimore and the Edgar Allan Poe House and Museum, recognizing a new generation of artists and writers inspired by Edgar Allan Poe. I emphasize around the world because I'm so very pleased to welcome our nominee and winner of one of the awards this year, Moreno Rodríguez from Chile.
Yeah.
Welcome, welcome. Please share with us, describe the work for us. Talk about your work.
Perfect. Many thanks. First of all, I want to thank you for organizing this festival and give the opportunity to artists from countries as far away as Chile. Thank you for this opportunity to show our art in tribute to the extraordinary work of the genius of world literature, Edgar Allan Poe. Thank you very much for that. My story is a tale. Insomnia is a story that happened in a second. At the moment when the unconscious wants to take over our conscious and lead us into the arms of Morpheus, or descend into the maelstrom, to put in context. Insomnia is the story of a good man who transits the age of consciousness with a chilling development of unexpected descent, as a dream within a dream. There are different senses in which poems and stories by Poe are represented in this tale. The raven, the tail hare, the black cat, the pit and the pendulum, the mask of the dead, and others. In this work, I was the fortune to have the participation of the best in Chilean comic and publishing industry. We have a friendship for several years. Pilar, Carto, Feña, Eduardo, Sibila, Pepe. Thank you very much to them.
Your whole team. How many people worked in this project?
Eight people, 7 with me. Sorry, 7 professionals of the art of the comic, and I have another team more technical than help our institution to support us to work more comfortable. It's a big team. 7 people is
amazing. All right, well, congratulations to all of them as well. Well, you are a winner this year, but this is the second year nominated. So please talk to us about some of the other work that you've done.
Yes, this is the second year that I participate in this festival. The last year, the tale was the same, Insomnia, but in another format. I present in virtual reality. The same tale, but represented in virtual reality. And for the next year, we are preparing the podcast versions.
Very cool. So a whole experience, immersive experience. That's amazing.
Multimedia experience. That is the idea.
Well, that's a lot of love for Edgar Allan Poe. This shows a clear, obviously, our love of Poe can be very personal, but when did you first read Poe, and how did you first become inspired by his work?
My father gave me the first book of Edgar Allan Poe. It's a tale of mystery and imagination. That was my first book, and I was 8 years old. A little boy entering in the world of Edgar Allan Poe was really amazing. For me, it's powerful. And all my life, I continue reading Edgar Allan Poe. Have these book collections. I am a fan.
Absolutely. Well, you're in good company, I think. Excellent company. Well, tell us about the other work that you do. This is a lot of genres. So gaming, virtual reality, comics, podcasts. Tell us about your company. Please tell us about your work.
Yes, I have a company in Chile. It's a publicity agency. our work is principally in internet, is multimedia, and have a good time. It's a good work. I have 20 years working in the digital world, and for me, it's like a game. It's like a play every day, but it's work and take seriously. But this is my work: the advertising, publicity, digital marketing, internet, apps. That is my work.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Same team for all of these pieces?
Yes, same thing.
That's
Yes,
wonderful.
for me, it's very important to the relations with the people. It's the same thing in all the work, in the agency, in the art, in another entrepreneur, the same thing.
Well, what other inspirations? What else moves you? Obviously inspired by horror and these kind of genres, but what else inspires your work, or what other projects are you looking to?
We want to continue with insomnia in the format of podcast, but also we are now talking with Google to try to put in his platform of virtual reality. That is what I want. In this moment, we are making all the contact and preparing the project. And another work is also in culture. We are trying to make similar to this project, Insomnia with Lovecraft, Howard Philip Lovecraft. We are we work to this way, and we are putting all the Insomnia project in one website, and you can to go in a few weeks. The domain is the domain is insomnia.world.
Can you repeat that one more time? Insomnia dot
world.
Okay, insomnia.world. Okay.
World.
Well, that's awesome. That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, when will you come to the States, do you think, and perhaps do a visit here? Have you been to Baltimore? Have you been here?
Yes, of course. The last year we want to go, but it was impossible to take a flight. That is the real. We lost the play. But
I suppose it's a tough question this year. Yes. I should have rethought that question, but no. Well, we hope to welcome you to Baltimore sometime soon, and we are so just excited about this work and this world. This world that you've created. So, well, please share with everybody how to continue to find your work. What's the best way to find you? What's the best way to support you?
Yes, in the website, the future website, insomnia.world is the web place. My company is ciberviviente.com. It's like a survivor of the virtual and of the cyberspace. Ciberviviente.com. That is the best way.
Okay. All right. Well, we're excited to share your work with so many people. And again, this wonderful world that you've created for all of us to kind of explore in this really fun thing. Thank you so much. And congratulations on your win this year for Insomnia. And we look forward to sharing your work. Thank you.
Thank you, Amika.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Hey guys, how you doing? I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. I'm gonna put myself in the center here, center of attention. It's me. But hey everybody, my name is Enrica Jang. I'm the executive director of Poe Baltimore, the Edgar Allan Poe House and Museum, and I am also the very proud awards administrator of the Saturday Visitor Awards, a new honor recognizing the influence of Edgar Allan Poe's works in popular culture and recognizing a new generation of artists and writers inspired by Edgar Allan Poe. You have to forgive me, I'm a little bit giddy. It's the end of this crazy year. Oh my goodness, we've got a couple days left in this strange year. And would you believe it? Just 3 more days. Gosh, knock on wood, we're gonna make it through to this whole thing. But very excited to be back this evening. I think this is the 3rd or 4th interview that we have done in this series, coming to you every Monday in December and January to talk to some of the nominees and winners of the 2020 Saturday Visitor Awards, and to answer questions, any questions creatives might have about the Saturday Visitor Awards: who, what, where, why, how to enter. And the call for entries opening on January 19th for Poe's 212th birthday, January 19th, midnight, January 19th, to enter the awards. So I want to remind everybody that these sessions are to familiarize you with some of the work from our wonderful nominees and winners from this past year. You met Mario just now. I think he may even be online tonight with us. He was forwarding the link a little bit earlier. But if you have any questions for some of the folks who are involved in the awards, this is the night to send some of your questions. If you're brave, send some of those questions live. But we're also going to be sharing some information with you about how to enter, and just kind of tips and tricks and what to keep in mind. I have made it a bit of a ritual to share some of the guidelines in video form. So I'm going to start that now. You may have seen these before, but it's always good to get a refresher. Away we go. So, of course, my correction until next week that the awards are not quite open yet. January 19th is the date to look forward to. But that gives you sort of an overview of the guidelines, a general overview of guidelines. We'll go over some of that just a bit here, but quick frequently asked questions and tips about the awards. Again, if you are seeing this series for the next some of this stuff is going to sound familiar to you, but for those of you joining us for the first time, want everybody to be aware of some of these frequently asked questions, these answers, and these tips, specifically dates to remember. So January 19th, Poe's birthday. Call for entries. Our call for entries for the Saturday Visitor Awards opens. Happy birthday to Poe, and at midnight that portal will open. The deadline to enter is May 30th. The form will close at 11:59, 1 minute before midnight on May 30th. So you have that entire time to take a look at the guidelines, take a look at our entry form, finalize your answers and submit those forms. July 30th, once the portal closes, July 30th, the nominees are announced, and then the winners are presented at a live ceremony October 2nd at Poe Fest International. That's the International Edgar Allan Poe Festival and Awards, hopefully in Baltimore. They were online last year, but hopefully in person next year, but definitely online or in person by hook or by crook. We will have the award ceremony. SaturdayVisitorAwards.org is the website for all things about the awards. You can view or download the entry guidelines. Those have been updated. Those are updated for everyone to peruse. Those will give you the most in-depth look as to what we're looking for in terms of these entries, other frequently asked questions. And again, we're going to go over some of those tonight, but you guys are encouraged to ask me, if you're brave, ask me some questions live tonight. That's why I am here. You can also, if you have particular questions about your entries, specific questions about your entries, you want to go to contact@poefestinternational.org. That email is very small here in the text here, but we're going to show you a quick banner for the website in just a second here, but for the email just a second. But if you do have specific questions about your entry, you want a little bit more in-depth attention with that, please feel free to send an email or send an email through our form on the website at SaturdayVisitorAwards.org. The one thing we do ask is please don't send your questions via direct message on Twitter or via Facebook chat. What you want to do is you want to get a hold of us on the website, or you want to send your questions online here, but staff during the day-to-day for social media won't answer or won't be able to answer via Facebook in chat or direct message in Twitter. So do please visit the website and contact us that way. Now, awards are presented in two categories as you consider your entry, looking for entries in two categories. The first is adaptations of Poe's life or works. Now, as the video mentioned, examples of this may be portraiture. Biography will fall in here given the narrative nature of biography, and then film or dramatic interpretation or adaptation of Poe's works. Please note that the Saturday Visitor Awards are intended to recognize artistic works rather than academic criticism. So we're not looking for papers or academic treatises on Poe. These are specifically for artistic works, and sometimes biography will sort of fall in there if you've got an interesting take on Poe's life and looking at the facts of Poe's life, adaptations of Poe's life or works. That's the category you would look to. Now, original works inspired by Poe is the second category. Examples might be Poe's life, his character in film, novel, or play. Certainly we see this very frequently these days. Poe is a character. To see him in television shows and movies. Poe's works, a sequel or prequel to Poe's works, are basis for an original story. We did have a nominee this past year, a novelist inspired by Poe, her original novel, and then of course original poetry. Now, one of the questions we do get for frequently asked questions are the awards for writing only? And the answer is not at all. We have seen winners in film. We've seen just this evening, you saw our interview with Mario, winner in comics. And of course, his work is very immersive, and he's got a number of different formats, and so a much greater project. But we have seen composition, we've seen beadwork and portraiture, so a lot of really cool stuff. So original works inspired by Poe. Now, in terms of eligibility, this is where things get a little bit tricky for some folks to understand, and this is where we get the most questions. So eligible works are media, art, performance, and or writing that adapts or is inspired by Poe's life and works. There are no restrictions in terms of medium or genre. We're looking for artistic works in any medium or genre. Now, works, however, must have been released, printed, distributed, or first performed between January 1, 2018 and December 31, 2020. That's the previous 3 years, which means, guys, it's 12/28, it's December 28th. You've got, 3 more days to perhaps post your piece. Self-published material is permissible, but you must show that it has been published. We had a wonderful question from a gentleman in Poland a little bit earlier this week via email, and his question was, does posting on social media count? So if he were to post a poem or post some written work on a Facebook page, would that count as distributing or printing your work? And actually, yes, as a matter of fact, it does. So, but any work that has been written but not posted, unfortunately, wouldn't be eligible. So if you have an unpublished work, you want to make sure you get this published by December 31st, 2020, just 3 days from now. Otherwise, you want to wait until next year's awards before it would be eligible, which is not the end of the world. But this is the thing that sometimes trips people up in terms of I created this work sometime within these last 3 years, but I haven't actually pushed it out to the world for people to see it. And we're looking for something that has been released as part of popular culture. Reprinted or re-released materials are discouraged. Now, we've covered this in previous sessions, but I do want to emphasize that these are new awards, and some people are hearing about them for the first time. We're very pleased that the message is getting out there and getting this program going. Very very, very proud of the program. But if your work has been published outside of this eligibility, you can't just change like one section or something like that and then release it. Reprinted or re-released materials are discouraged unless that work has been changed materially in some way. And in that case, you definitely want to make a case to the judges when you submit your piece that you have made some serious like material changes to the work, or you're confining your submission to just the part of your work that was recreated and distributed during this time. If there are any questions about that, I know that that can get tricky, and it just depends on the individual piece. Again, I do encourage you to please contact us, get a hold of us before you submit your entry, and we're happy to kind of work that out with you. But once you've submitted your entry, you're asking the judges to take a look and make that determination. And if the judges determine that the work is ineligible, then unfortunately it would not be permitted. But you won't know until you try, and you definitely want to get a hold of us, be in contact with us, and we're very happy to talk to you about that before you ever submit. Finally, a work may be nominated in more than 1 year, but a winning entry may not be entered again. Now, this is really cool to point out because Mario this evening, love that guy, so amazing. He was nominated last year, he submitted his work again, and he won this year. Now, his piece had a number of different components, had a podcast component, had a game component, had a comic component, and he had submitted different parts of his project, but he won this year, even though he'd been nominated in a previous year. So work may be nominated in more than 1 year as long as it falls within that period of eligibility, but a winning entry may not be entered again. Once you're a winner for all time. All right. If there are any questions about that, I encourage you to be brave, send them my way tonight while we're live. I can answer some of those questions. If you've got a question, I'm sure somebody else out there has a question too. So you're asking for everybody. And I see in the comments, I want to give a shout out to Lorraine. Hi, Lorraine. It has been a long time. It's been a long time since I've seen just about everybody. But hello to everybody out there. So happy to see everyone. And we'll come back out here. All right, so I was kind of tapped on the knuckles last time for not waiting long enough for some questions to come in. So I'm going to wait for some more comments to come in. I'm going to put up a banner, encourage you guys to ask me questions. But while we're waiting for some questions, I did want to bring on one of our producers onto the show this evening with me, so I'm not sitting here worried about nervous that nobody's asking questions. We have we've had an incredible year. We have some wonderful things planned, and none of those things happen. None of them happen without our wonderful producers, both of whom are on tonight, but we'll just only bring one on this evening. Mark Mullaney, I'm going to ask you to come on up and talk to me, Mark. Come on up here.
I'm here.
You're here?
Yes.
Disembodied voice here. Okay.
Yeah, why? Oh, because I need to be. Hold on.
Here you are. Kind of. There you are.
Yeah, I don't know what's going
Mark
on.
Is
There
shy.
I am.
There he
Hi.
is. And who's this guy? Who's this guy next to you? Have we named him yet?
The cat. I don't know. Jason drew it, so he needs to be the one to name it, or you. I have no claims on names.
I think we talked about Katerina because of Poe's kitten.
And we talked about Katerina because it's a cat.
Yes, he's a cat. And
So we call it
Poe's
Katerina.
cat's name was Katerina. And I like that she's on your shoulder here because Poe's cat used to write on his shoulder too. But no, thank you for all your incredible work. But it's been a crazy year. Oh my goodness.
Yes, it has.
Yes, it has. Mark
It's
Mullaney,
been a very Poe-fitted year with all of the tragedy and things. It works well for Poe. He'd be very happy, I think.
in a weird way, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. It's just definitely recognizable. These things.
Aren't you glad I'm here?
Poe themed year, I should say, brought to you by Poe. But a lot of
brought to you by Poe.
Good things happen this year because of your work. And then Kyle is in the background here. Kyle Northrup. He won't be coming online this evening. He's got a little bit of a cold, but both you guys helped produce the International Edgar Allan Poe Festival and Awards online for the first time this year, and then also Saturday Visitor Awards. Mark is responsible for the wonderful videos that we saw promoting the awards and talking about the guidelines, this kind of stuff. And you've been working with Poe for how many years now?
I think we started in 2017 because that's when you sort of took over the reins over there, and you're like, I got this crazy idea. Let's do a festival.
Crazy festival.
So,
Yes.
and then it was fun because it's like I've been with PoFest since the beginning, and so then to like just as soon as were like, okay, we have a handle on how this thing works, then it's like, hey, how about you rethink it from the ground up?
The whole thing. Change
Yeah.
the whole thing. Change the whole thing. Well, yes. Well, I see Liam in the chat this evening, and put him up here. Just yeah, definitely a crazy year, but a lot of really good things happened out of it. If anybody is actually interested, and I had meant to share this link earlier, if anybody is interested in seeing not just the winners from this past year, but the entire awards ceremony for the Saturday Visitor Awards, here is the link on YouTube for everybody to see this ceremony, see some of the winners, including Mario, and some of the heartfelt things that they said during our live ceremony, our very first awards show, the Emmys. Watch your back, Emmys. We've got but then we've got some really cool stuff kind of coming up for this year. Mark?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've been talking a lot this week and last week about all the different things, but we can't talk about it now. Shh, keep it secret.
We can talk a little about it now. We can talk a little bit about it.
Well, you tell me what we can talk about, because I don't know. I say something and then I'm gonna get yelled at.
We can talk about the app. We're gonna have an app.
We're gonna have an app.
We're gonna have an app. A mobile app.
Everybody needs to have an app.
Yeah. There's an app for that. Is that still a thing? Is that there's an app for that? Poe House.
You like Edgar Allan Poe? There's an app for that.
For that. I wonder if we're gonna get in trouble for actually saying that on
Why?
our podcast. But we're gonna have a mobile app soon, featuring some of the our programming at the house, some of our new virtual tours, which we've been working on. We released, we've been doing house tours. We did the Death Weekend tour for the festival. And then Mark has also been instrumental in helping us put together our cell phone tour. So the cell phone tour is now turning into our mobile app. So
yeah, we're hoping this is going to be a thing that can supplement for the right now, where it's difficult for people to be able to travel to Poe House physically. But moving past this, it'll be something that will help to make your experience in Baltimore better, more Poe-y is the word.
More Poe-y, yes. Well, we are the stewards of the Edgar Allan Poe House and Museum, but our organization is Poe Baltimore. So we celebrate Poe's legacy all over in Baltimore and beyond. That is our mission. That's what we do.
This is a good platform to shout out to like anybody who's paying attention to this right now. If there's anything, if you could have any ideas of what you want to see in a Poe app, say it. We'll crowdsource we'll crowdsource an app. That can't go wrong at all.
What could possibly go wrong? No. I've got a question here from Liam.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
Yes. How many people actually submitted for the SVA Awards last year? It's a good question. I actually don't know. I know that the first year we had something like 40 entries, but was really great. We had entries from 8 different countries. And then, last year, I know that we nearly doubled it, I believe. So the word is getting out, but the awards are still very new. And of course, Liam Doyle, William E. Doyle, is one of our winners, and you're going to see an interview with him a little bit later next month as we get closer to.
But even still, getting like 40 entries from around the world in like the early stages of the awards ceremony is a pretty big deal,
Yes. For the first year, and then I think we did double it last year. We had a lot more, and as the awards administrator, you think I know the exact number? I just remember it was a lot of them, and I had to make sure that all of them followed the rules.
Yes, the exact number is lots and lots and lots of them.
Lots and lots and lots of them. But then, okay.
Pick a number and then add like 3 zeros to the end of it. That'll be how many people entered.
But we're very pleased that not only did people enter, more people enter, but we had some people return because they felt that the awards were important. And then again, someone like Mario, he was nominated the first year, he won the second year for another part of his project. So, and he's got more things planned. crazy immersive world. Absolutely incredible. He mentioned a virtual experience. Poe definitely lends himself to like this sort of immersive experiences, and so we've seen that in the awards winners. As a matter of fact, creating these immersive theatrical experiences. We'll be seeing more of that, and even winners from the first year. So that definitely people get your heart pounding. Really excited.
Well, it's interesting because when you think about like works based on Edgar Allan Poe, the first things that at least came to my mind were, oh, we're going to see mostly just writing and film, but we've seen sculpture, we've seen fashion, we've seen paintings, we've seen, like, as you were saying, like comic books and immersive art, virtual experiences, like a whole, there was one, which was the one, was it last year, where it was like a whole like exhibit like thing where it's like a video of like walking through this whole I don't even remember what thing. Maybe I should stop talking about it.
Broad Encounters.
Yeah, that's the one.
In Australia, down under, they do this incredible.
Yeah, we got Poe down under.
That's right. They did. Very, very cool stuff. So we don't want to offend anybody with the accent. Well, I don't see any other questions coming in, but we will be back here next Monday with another interview and more questions if we see them in email, if we see them online, if people are interested in how to enter. And then we'll be ready for this deluge of new entries. The call for entries, and the call for entries open.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get even more than we would be expecting to, because of the online nature of the festival this year. I think it reached a broader audience than we would have when we've reached in previous years, because essentially we were just getting people who could come to Baltimore to be a part of it. But now you could experience the festival, from the from your own home without having to worry about booking plane tickets or anything.
I think that's incumbent upon us now that we've done a lot of virtual stuff. We're going to see a lot more of it this year. I think
and now we're obligated to do it. We're obligated to do it forever now. We just always, every year, it's going to be an online component to it, and it's like 2 festivals for the price of 1.
Are we obligated, or do we get to do it? We get to do online stuff.
We get to do it. We're obligated to enjoy doing it. That's
right. Yeah, contractually obligated to enjoy doing it. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mark, for all of your work this year.
Thank you for letting me do it.
And Merry Wondermas. I didn't get to wish you a Merry Wondermas before, but I hope you had a really good one. Thank you very, very much, Paola. And all right. That a message for Mario, I believe. Pretty awesome. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining. Again, I'm going to post some important information if anybody would like to send us some questions. Again, please feel free to visit the website or send an email to contact@pofestinternational.org if you have questions specific to your entry. You want a little bit of attention, try to figure out where you fall in terms of the categories, how things work. Very happy to help shepherd you in the right direction in time. And remember, entries must have been published or published or distributed, released, even if it's just on social media, by December 31st, 2020. So we only have a couple more days. And thank you, Mark, once again. All right, connect with us, please, at PoFest International here on Facebook, at PoFest International on Twitter, Po Baltimore, our YouTube channel. If you'd like to see any of the other interviews with folks on YouTube, you can see in our archive online. And we're looking forward to seeing you all again next year. Thank you very, very much. Happy New Year, everybody. We all deserve it. All of us. We all deserve it. And we look forward to seeing you next year. All right. Good night, guys.
Bye.
Bye.